While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
My friend, you don't plan to get it? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bajan experience. My show is called Bajan to the Bone. Don't miss it, Bajan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
Welcome to the Cropover Sweet Spot, your go-to show for all things Cropover 2024. We'll dive into the big issues of the day with exclusive interviews with the entertainers, the experts, the movers and shakers of the festival, plus you, the audience. Get to join the conversation and share your views. Tune in to CBC TV 8 every Friday night for the ultimate Cropover experience with yours truly, the Admiral. We're big on everything Cropover 2024. The Cropover Sweet Spot, brought to you with the kind compliments of Axel Finance.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love cruise.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. You know, it's a different feeling altogether.
I never feel so good in a party yet.
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday.
So good in a party yet. You know why?
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
My friend, you don't plan to get it? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bajan experience. My show is called Bajan to the Bone. Don't miss it, Bajan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love crew.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. You know, it's a different feeling altogether.
I never feel so good in a party yet.
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. And together we will travel the world.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning. Good morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Morning to you.
Good morning, Barbados, and good morning to you. Great to be in your company on this Monday, August 19th, 2024. I'm Tisha Hines, and I'll be here with you on Morning Barbados until 8 o'clock this morning. Ooh, I have some great news to get the show started. All last week, we were celebrating all of our athletes who would be competing in the Carifta Triathlon and Aquathlon, and they were very excited coming off of 2 consecutive wins. I'm happy to report we've made it a third. So congratulations to all of the athletes, of course, the officials, the visiting teams who performed very credibly as well. But big ups to Team Barbados, who did the triple. So we definitely will be having a celebratory show for the entire team tomorrow. I know you've been celebrating since yesterday. And if you noted that the Spring Garden Highway, Mighty Grider Highway was off limits over the weekend, that was the reason they were competing in that area. So congratulations to Team Barbados. How about that? Feeling really, really pleased. I know they worked really hard for it. Today is World Humanitarian Day. The theme for World Humanitarian Day 2024 is Act for Humanity. Act for Humanity is a powerful reminder of the importance of the protection and treatment of civilians, including humanitarian workers during war. And we know that a whole lot more, especially now with all the news we hear coming out of the Middle East and Europe during those various wars happening. Now, 2023 was the deadliest year on record for humanitarian workers, and 2024 has the potential to be even worse. Unfortunately, violations of international law meant to protect aid workers and civilians in conflict zones often don't work. Humanitarian workers, alongside civilians, face unprecedented risks, while violators often escape justice. So this year's theme calls for an end to these acts of violence and the perpetrators' impunity, urging greater respect for the rules of war and accountability for those in power. And that sounds like an oxymoron to me, the rules of war. Go figure. All right, so what else is coming up on today's show? Well, we are going to be telling you all about the UE Alumni Association, a big celebration, 60 and 60. That's coming up a little bit later. So we have Solomon Hunt, who will be joining us, and Maxine McLean. She will be in to talk all about the activities they're planning for the UE Alumni Association. Plus, we are going to be sharing with you what will be happening next step for a few of the children who are transitioning from secondary into tertiary school, tertiary levels institutions. Now, many of them are awaiting the CSEC results, and they say they should be back by tomorrow. I know lots of people are biting their nails. We're going to prepare for that with the Barbados Community College. Of course, we have Dr. Caroline Woodruff Holder, who is Assistant Registrar with responsibility for student affairs at the college, coming through to sit in with us and talk a little bit about the new academic year and what's to be expected and what needs to be done. We want to make sure everybody has everything sorted out. So make sure you are on top of that. Plus, the Barbados Youth Business Trust, they have a startup huddle, and they're going to tell us exactly what that means. Cardell Ferguson, the general manager of the BYBT, will be here to share with us. She's going to come in remotely. So all that and a whole lot more coming today on Morning Barbados. Do stay with us. We'll be right back.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
My friend, you don't plan to get it? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bajan experience. My show is called Bajan to the Bone. Don't miss it, Bajan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's
Good morning to you.
All right, it's 7:16 already. I don't know what your plans are for today in terms of heading out, but we are looking down the barrel of a new school year, parents. my goodness, it changes things so drastically, even for people who are not parents. I know it's still busy on the roads across Barbados, but at times when children are in school, it truly is intensified. A few years ago, I never thought that highway would be so clogged up, but it is, because everybody has 3 cars and they're 2-person household. I don't know how you're working it out, but that is what's happening. Help me say a special good morning to Dr. Caroline Woodruff Holder, who is Assistant Registrar with responsibility for student affairs at the Barbados Community College. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me once again.
It's always great to see you. I think the last time I saw you, it was maybe end of the year for the Cheers celebration.
Yes, it was.
The big celebration that the college had.
Yeah.
So again, congrats to you.
Thank you.
I thoroughly enjoyed being a part of it.
Appreciate it.
However, small little way, but it was an excellent celebration. So today we're talking about the start of the acceptance process for the new academic year. And as I mentioned, students are expecting CSEC results
on Tuesday.
Tomorrow. Tomorrow, Tuesday. So let's start for those new students and new parents who might not be all the way sure, because I know your phones must be inundated already.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. People are actually coming. There's some persons who would have asked to have their CSEC results released early. And for those persons, once they have done that through the CXC examinations body, they don't have to come to the college at all. We receive them from the CSEC examinations body and we process them that way, so they don't necessarily have to come to the college at all. That will be taken care of. For those persons who will be coming to the college, we're kindly asking that only one person, either the parent, the guardian, or just the applicant, because there's so many persons coming on the campus, and it makes it a little frustrating for them if they have to wait long, and for us who are doing the processing. So we're kindly asking that just one person bring those results. And when they do bring them, we're kindly asking that they have them printed, not only the current CXC results, but ones they would have had previously. I know it may be asking, we did that before and whatever, but it makes the process a lot faster and smoother for them. So we're asking them to bring the current results as well as any qualifications that they would have had previously. And so it makes the process a lot easier.
I know for parents with students who might be heading in, sometimes it's kind of difficult to let them go in both directions, because the little ones might not be accustomed to dealing with stuff like this on their own, but this is kind of the first step in taking on a tertiary level institution.
And they have no worries. The staff in the Student Affairs Office are extremely competent. They take care of all our students very well. So parents have no worries at all. If they're not sure of what to do, they are very aware of what is required. Any step at all that they need help with, we are there to help assist them. So they have no worries whatsoever.
Let's talk college deadlines. Is it too late at this stage to apply?
Yes, it is. There are very few occasions where we would try to facilitate, but at this point, when we have gone past the application process, which would have started in February, all the way down to June, it makes it a little difficult because it's online application, and we don't manage the online portal. That is the challenge with that. So it's a little challenging at this time to facilitate applications, because it's an external department that manages the online portal.
All right, so still in line with timelines, what should students be looking forward to at this time to ensure they don't miss any?
Well, from Wednesday through to Friday is when they will be bringing those results from 9 a.m. until 2:30 p.m. As far as our continuing students are concerned, they will be starting school on the 26th, and we are kindly asking that they have their fees paid by this Friday, so that they can get their ID cards and so on updated, and they'd have no issues coming through the gate at the college. For the new students as well, we're asking that they be on time. Make sure that they're on time when they come to present their results, because it's a long process. It's a short time frame in which to manage that process, because we want them all to be in school by September 9th. So it's a very short window in which we get the processing done and to have them in the college to start school on September 9th.
It is a short turnaround time. Now, you mentioned that the process is managed almost entirely online.
Yeah.
For some
this
people
is the application
who have applied, will they know by now if they've been conditionally accepted, Explain to us how the process works for students to be able to either make it in, or whether a decision is taken that they can't get into one particular area or another.
There's some persons who would have heard by now. Those are the persons who would have applied to the hospitality division, the Jean and Norma Holder Hospitality Institute. Some of those persons would have heard. Those are persons who were pre-qualified, who already had the requirements to enter the college. So those persons would already have been processed, and by now most of them would have heard whether they've been accepted or not. The only outstanding persons were the persons who are awaiting CSET results or any other examinations that they would have taken. Additionally, part-time persons, we also do them early, because most of the time they already have their qualifications. Persons who study in the evening, usually mature persons. So some of those would already have been informed. But outside of that, the majority of our applicants are those who are awaiting CSET results.
All right, and in terms of CSEC results, you said submission Wednesday to Friday. Is there a late when it comes to submitting results? Can somebody go past a deadline?
Yeah, we always try to accommodate whenever necessary. We always do try to accommodate. So even if you don't get there by Friday, I'll be urging you to get there by Friday, because as I said, it's a process that we have to go through. We would accommodate as much as we can.
What happens in instances where, because I know in recent years we've had parent bodies and groups of parents kind of contest certain results and so on. What happens in instances like those where results are kind of up in the air?
We do, on minimal occasions, do give provisional acceptance for those persons who are awaiting those results. So that's an option that we do provide for those students.
But is that something you would have to communicate?
Definitely, yeah, that you have gone through that process and that you're waiting the outcome of those investigations.
What advice would you give to, young ones coming into the college and parents who are getting them ready in terms of getting in the headspace to move into a tertiary level institution?
Just basically that college is not secondary school. You're not going to be listening for a bell to take you to your next class. That is some things that some persons, they're waiting to hear the next bell. Oh, my next class is coming and so on. But you have to manage your time. You have to be responsible for your progress. And apart from, there are persons there who will guide you, who will assist you, but primarily you're a young adult now. And we expect that you will take a large part of the responsibility for what you have to do. But we do have our support services, our counseling department, the same student affairs, these tutors, senior tutors, and so on. We do have a great support service, but we are preparing you now for basically for the world of the work, for responsibility, and a lot of that you have to take on your own.
Are there any guided tours or anything like that happen to kind of take the students across the campus? Because I can imagine it could be very overwhelming for new students coming in. It's a new campus, it's fairly big. Yeah. To be able to navigate the space.
Yes, we do. During our orientation process, we do have tours taken on by current students, and we also have a session for parents during the orientation, where parents get to understand the whole process, how they can support their wards. So there is information for everyone. Parents, there's a session for parents. There are numerous orientation sessions for students, how to study, how to prepare for examinations and all that. So we do make sure that the transition is as seamless as possible, both for the parents, who they have a lot of anxiety, and also for the students as well.
All right. How are students notified of acceptance or provisional acceptance?
Most of the time we do send them by email, so we're asking you to make sure that you check the email which you would have provided during your application process, and we also do phone calls as well, just as a backup to make sure that they are informed of that they've been accepted.
And then following that, let's talk a little bit about the ID validation process. I know it's different for returning students than it is for new students.
Right, for the continuing students, they're required to have their fees paid by August 30th. Unfortunately, if they don't have it done by then, they will incur a late fee. But most persons will get it done by then. And once they have completed the payment process, which can be done either via our college portal, by SurePay, or at the college itself, then they bring the receipt and we update their ID card with a current academic sticker.
And what do students need to know coming in from where you set with responsibility for student affairs? What do they need to know coming in? I know registration can be a challenge sometimes to be able to, get online and get situated with their subjects and so on. What advice would you give to them?
My basic advice is to read, because we do have specific directions that they need to follow. For example, we recently had some students who are registering. There were a list of guidelines, say 1 to 10. And one guy, he followed 1 to 3, and then he was leaving campus. And we were like, where are you going? He said, I only read up to 3. So we're asking you to read. And if there's anything you don't understand, just ask a question. We're there to guide you.
What about support, especially for the new students coming in? I know that for student affairs, around this time you're going to be
crazy.
very, very full and very, very busy. So if there's anywhere that they can go or people they can speak to, what can they do if they just need a little more guidance? We know coming out of secondary school sometimes, because they're more accustomed to being able to go to sir or ma'am to kind of get a little more help. It can be a little challenging.
Well, actually, all the divisions at the college are involved in the onboarding process for the new students. So if you're in the division of commerce, science, wherever you are, there are persons there to guide you and to assist you, as well as our counseling and placement department. It's a whole team effort. So everyone is there to guide them, no matter what the challenges or the situation is.
And advice for returning students, might be second year or final year students who are coming back into the college. What steps should they be taking at this point, and has anything at all changed?
Nothing really. They just need to make sure that they have their timetables before school starts. And one of the other things that we're doing would be registering for cores and electives. But they must have the main program timetables available so that they can fill in their cores and electives in the spaces available on their timetables. And basically, we just keep asking you to read and follow your instructions. One important thing that I need to note is that the college does have a dress code, and we're kindly asking them to follow that dress code. We get information coming from the registrar. It's also in the student handbook. Just read, follow the dress code so that everybody is happy and comfortable once the new semester starts.
Now, I went to community college and I don't remember that. Maybe I was too young. But tell me a little bit about this dress code. I can't remember ever hearing about. Is this new?
No, it is not new. It is just that the forms of dress for some young persons has changed somewhat. Okay. And it can be a little distracting. So all the guidelines are laid out in the information that comes via email from the registrar. It's on the college website, and it's also in the handbook.
Listen, my dress for college, I wanted some jeans and t-shirts, and I was good to go.
It has gone way past that. Way past that. So sometimes you can't tell if they're coming to college or if they're going to a fete, whatever. But we ask you to dress soberly and not to be distracted in the environment. It's a place of education.
Does it apply to hair as well?
No, it doesn't apply to hair.
So
just your
dress,
dress.
clothes.
Yes, your clothes, yeah.
Wow, dress soberly.
Yes.
I never thought I'd see this day. I'm truly old now, boy.
And there are reasons why we do that also, because we also prepare you for the world of work. And we also expect you to take this back to anywhere that you go to work, because you can't go to work dressed any old how. So it's also preparation as you move forward into your adult life as well. So
I want to speak now to people who might be thinking of continuing their education. Sometimes it can feel a little challenging, a little bigger maybe than you if you want to go back. You might be in the world of work, or you want to take on something new or extend your learning in the area that you're in. Talk to us about deadlines for them as we look to the new academic year, because as you mentioned, it starts from around, it closes up, early in the new year. So you really should be preparing for next school year, not the one coming, the 2025 school year, even now.
Well, our application process usually starts maybe December, January for the following academic year. But we also have some short programs offered by the Hospitality Institute as well as our General Continuing Education Department. So it is possible, say in September, to do one of those short courses, maybe a 12-week course in the hospitality industry as well. And then we also offer like real estate, and so on. So there are some courses that you can take outside of the regular academic year.
But it's just a matter of going online.
And we also do put ads out there as well. So you can always check our college website. You can check IG, for example, and JS is another avenue that we use, and as well as the newspapers.
I didn't know you have a number of collaborations with colleges and universities outside of the island, as well as the University of the West Indies.
Yes, we do.
To ensure that the transition is smooth for students, and you offer a wide range of courses and programs as well.
Yes, we do. We currently have a very active one with Delaware State University. We just took in our second cohort with those, and that's going pretty well. And we also have with the Gateway Initiative, those persons who are in the construction industry. We're still looking for persons who want to, hone their skills in that area. So any person who is also interested in the Gateway Industry Program, that is also available at this moment, and that is a free program.
Excellent. So what's the timeline for registration for the Gateway program?
Maybe another 2 weeks or so that they can, they can check Barbados Community College, they can check BVTV, as well as the Samuel Jabber Prescott Institute as well. So
Remind me who can apply for that Gateway program.
Anyone who has an interest in the construction industry, as well as current persons who are working in the industry who want to be certified in the area that they're working in, or even if they want to branch out into something new. Anyone who is willing to work in that industry.
I love that. I love that it's free.
Yeah.
I love that it's new, and I love that it's open to everyone. Are there any new programs as we look toward this new school year that you've instituted, or any new ones you're looking to bring on stream in the very near future?
Not necessarily new, but there's one program, the Library Information Technicians Program, which was a little dormant for a while, but that one is, we're going to be revamping that. It actually has been revamped, and we do have applicants for that, and we may still have openings for a few persons who wish to take part in that program. It also looks at persons who are into records. So it's not just library oriented, but persons who deal with records on a daily basis. It's a good program for persons in offices and so on who manage records, who deal with filing and in any format or whatever, who have to retrieve records. It's a really good program to get involved in.
And finally, for anyone for any reason who had to take a leave of absence or who wasn't able to finish, what would be your advice to them in terms of trying to get back on stream, to get back in school?
Well, by now, if they haven't done so, they should have completed an extended studies form, and we actually processing them as we speak. But by now, most persons would have completed that process where they can rejoin from the new academic year starting September 9th.
Good stuff. It's always good to see you. It's always good to hear about what's happening in the upcoming new school year. I can't believe it's another school year.
It is.
2024 is done and dusted, whether we like it or not.
Yeah.
But we certainly are getting ready for, Barbados Community College in September. If you're heading there, congratulations to you. If you're still waiting, results coming tomorrow. Fingers crossed. I hope that you get the results that you are looking for. Wish that for you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much, Dr. Caroline Woodruff Holder, Assistant Registrar with responsibility for student affairs.
You are most welcome.
At the Barbados Community College. Always real stylish, always looking really good. Always great to see you.
Thank you so much. You have a wonderful day.
And you. All right, time for a break here on Morning Barbados. When we come back, we're going to be talking a little bit about the University of the West Indies Alumni Association, the Barbados chapter 60 for 60. It's a fundraiser that's coming up. Maxine McLean, familiar name, she's going to be here. She's the president of the UE Alumni Association, and Solomon Hunt, PR officer. They're going to be sharing with us, so stay here.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love cruise.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. It's a different feeling altogether.
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday.
You know why?
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to Mornin Barbados.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
It's 23 minutes now before 7 o'clock. What people learn is don't tell me anything off here because it probably will end up on air. So let me go ahead and say a special good morning to Maxine McLean, the president of the UE Alumni Association Barbados chapter.
Good morning, and I'm happy to be here with you.
I know you are, but you told me you missed your morning swim. So
yes, well, all in the name of the Alumni Association.
That's wonderful. And Solomon Hunt, Public Relations Officer of the association, also joins us this morning.
Good morning.
Wonderful to see you. I mean, you send me so many emails that I feel like we already have a connection.
Yes.
Keeping me informed of what's happening. So let's talk about a little bit about the association itself. I know a little while ago you kind of reinvigorated things.
Yes.
And you have a lot of things on the horizon.
Well, actually, last year, the university campus would have celebrated its 60th anniversary, and the wider university, its 75th. In fact, as I reflect, I have had a 50-year relationship with UWI. That's I can tell anybody my age, not to worry. So we were happy as an alumni association to really celebrate in the case of the Cayfield campus because we are the Barbados chapter. But it happens that we are on campus, a campus territory, our country. And so we continue to, as we say, try to reinvigorate the process. In fact, this is my second iteration as a president. I was about 2 decades ago. So.
Congratulations.
But we are happy to be working with a team that's a mix of some of those persons who served before and some young and, energetic members as well. Well, I believe people like me are energetic too, but, so we have an excellent team, and we find it important to undertake not only initiatives to bring members back into the association, but also to make sure that we're able to raise finances to support the work of the campus, especially supporting students who may have difficulties from time to time, financial difficulties, and we also do work in the community as well. So we really have had a number of initiatives. We started last year, and Solomon, our PRO, would tell you about that. It was also his idea, the raffle. But in recognition of the 60th, we had the 60 for 60 campaign, which we launched last year, and it would run for a year until the end of October. But I would say persons are free to support it nevertheless. 60 for 60 is $60. For, in recognition at a minimum, that's $60 at a minimum, let me emphasize that, in recognition of the 60 years. So that campaign is going. We would have sent out invitations to participate using some flyers, carrying our QR code and so on to facilitate payment to a cross-section of entities. And unfortunately, or fortunately, because part of that association, I taught on campus for 17 and a half years, so I am readily able to identify alumni across the business community, the private sector, the public sector, etc. And so I just want to use this as a reminder to those persons who heard from us. Please encourage your colleagues to participate, because we really do a lot of good work for students on campus.
Absolutely, makes a big difference. Mr. Hunt, talk to us about that. I know you have 3 major initiatives coming up. Let's get into the first one that's coming up. To be able to assist students is really top of the table for you.
Right. So shortly on the 14th of September, we are having a sip and paint exercise, and that will be held at the 3W stand. That is at UWI Keyfield. The contribution is $80 Barbados per person, and we are hoping we have space for about 50 persons. So we are hoping that the other alumni out there will take part of it. It's going to be very exciting, and we'll have a bit of refreshments during that session, and that initiative will help go towards the scholarship hardship programs that we are having. In addition to that, we have continued our annual raffle. We started that one last year for the first time, and it did very well. All the books were sold out, and we are hoping to continue that progress this year again. So the tickets for that, you'll see this type of ticket here. It is easy to recognize, and it's just $5 per ticket. There's 7 tickets in the book, and if you purchase the whole book, you can get it for $30, so you get a free ticket. And this also helps that initiative, and we are hoping that it will go well this year. Outside of that, we also have the 60 for 60, which continues to the end of this year. And I mean, if persons want to continue to contribute going forward, they can. So that's our main 3 initiatives for this year.
Share the prices?
Yeah, the prices we have for our raffle, they're very interesting. We have our first prize as a trip for 2 to Panama.
Ooh.
Yes, then your second prize is $1,000 Barbados in
song
cash.
in the back, compañero. We go to Panama.
Yeah, Panama. We also have the third prize of a portable refrigerator. We have a 32-inch smart TV. We have a dinner for 2 at Champer's Restaurants. We have an air fryer. We have a Sunday buffet lunch for 2 at Golden Sands, and several other prices, consolation prices. So you see, it may be a small raffle, but the prices are great. And I would like to take this opportunity also to thank those persons who contributed to making this raffle a success. Persons like Noel Hoyt, Alan Goodman, to name a few, Inks Trucking, Stout Scar Rentals, and I think those were the major players in this so far. There are the persons who were willing to come forward, but we're yet to hear from them because the raffle had just started. I think we started this on the 26th of July, and it's going on until the 21st of December this year. So short, 4 months, and we're hoping that people come forward and support it. Those winners from last year can say, yes, they had a good time. There were about 21 winners, yes. and they were all happy at the end of it. So that is it, in short. We are hoping for the best results this year again.
Good stuff. Definitely some fantastic initiatives, all for a big cause.
Right.
Let's talk a little bit more about these scholarship and hardship programs that you support through these initiatives.
What we do is we actually provide funding to the university, and there's a committee connected to student services who would identify students in need. They would have a set of criteria. So we provide the funding, and they determine based on the kinds of requests made, and there would be an advertisement of the fund. So we typically do not directly choose. They will identify and nominate a set of people, and then we would look at them and make a decision in terms of who seems to be most deserving. And then in addition to that, we also work with the communities. We've worked with schools in the neighborhood. I believe about 2 years ago, we would have had a program with Good Shepherd where we set up a library. 2 or 3 years ago, we would have worked with schools in the community, and we've identified some problems problem areas in schools where they tell us they can assist perhaps in terms of reading because, you know, in a number of instances, there are children with reading difficulties. And the essential thing is we approach the schools in you know, the general catchment area of the university, and to identify with them the problems or the issues that they would want supported, so that we undertake programs that are meaningful to the beneficiaries. And one of the things that I would want to do now is to appeal to our alumni to come and get involved. It's an opportunity also for you know, members of the association to network, to mentor, because that's a big program. One of the initiatives that we undertake as well, working with student services, is a program to prepare graduates for the world of work and that's a give back as well, because the participants benefit from facilitators who do not charge anything. They give up their time. They're all alumni, well, generally alumni, and they expose them to preparation for interviews, understanding how to function in the workplace, basic etiquette. For example, they have, at the end of it, they have a dining session. One of our Vice President Jennifer Hinkson, who just retired from the university, where she was coordinator of all the signature events of the campus. Pretty much, if you see a lot of those events, she would have done that. And so she takes them through that kind of exercise, because it may seem simple, but it is amazing how many people are intimidated in a setting where they have to go to dinner with maybe colleagues or you know, possible business opportunities, you know, meeting with customers or clients and so on. So I think really and truly it is to help them improve their, you know, their chances of doing well on the job. That's one initiative. And I think also as we increase the participation of alumni, we can hear from them what opportunities they have to give back, you know, within the country generally and within their special areas.
And as you mentioned, it's all about support,
yes,
and networking.
Yes.
Because you started by saying that, you know, you pretty much know a lot of the people who have come through the programs that you were a part of, thousands, I can imagine, for those 17 years,
yes,
you know, that you were teaching. So just imagine for people who would have been a part of various classes, core classes, electives as well, and the people they would have had an opportunity to meet, for them to be able to reconnect in whatever fields they're in and move forward. You know, this is how real business connections are made, and this is what we need to continue doing for the country. When we come back, we're going to look a little bit more at the student scholarship and hardship programs, and we're also going to take a peek at a little more in depth into what it means to come back to the Alumni Association or come to the Alumni Association. So there may be a number of steps that you'll need to take. We'll outline all of that and more. Plus, I'm going to ask my guests to put on different hats. Maxine, her hat as a teacher of many, many years as we get ready for the new school year. As she told me when she came in, teachers don't age. I said, are you not going to age? I mean, she looks exactly the same. And then, of course, Mr. Hunt wearing his hat from law enforcement. We're going to take a little peek at that, too. That's all coming up next.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
All right, just about 8 minutes to go now before 7 o'clock. 8 minutes before 7 o'clock. I don't know what you're up to. Maybe you're just coming back from your early morning sea bath. hint. But I have two great guests with me this morning. Maxine McLean is here and Solomon Hunt, and we're talking about the UE Alumni Association, Barbados chapter, and all that you do. Now, Mr. Hunt, I want to kind of outline what people need to do to get back into the Alumni Association. Sometimes people think, oh, this is going to be a lot of time. I'm going to have to go to a whole bunch of meetings and this, that, and the other. So talk to us a little bit about what involvement involves.
Right. Okay, so it is simple. There's a form, you come, you fill it out, you pay $60. We are offering a lifetime membership fee now of $60, and that's it. You don't have to pay that money anymore. And basically,
so that's a one-off cost?
A one-off call for now. So I think it's best that those persons who pass through UE, they're all alumni. If they're not aware, they are. But we have this registration so we can keep in contact with them for some of these services that we are doing. Because what we are doing here is all voluntary. And we are giving back to the society. You must recognize that a lot of Barbadians were fortunate to have their education paid for. All they did actually was to pay the registration fee. So therefore, what we are asking for some of those persons to come forward and introduce themselves so that they can fill out the forms, they pay the $60, you get a card. And once you registered, you have that lifetime registration, you get a card. This card can be used at one or two business places that we will identify to them to get a percentage off. And that's all. It is a simple process, no fuss at all.
I really loved the fact that, you talked about there being a mentorship program. And I think for many of us, we have to look back to, even when you started or, what was happening at that point in time. As we look across society, there's a lot happening. And there are a lot of young people, and for parents as well, it can be quite challenging to make that transition. All of a sudden, you don't get the discounted price for the school bus. You might not be able to get a bus to go over to the university. You might have to end up getting the van to go. There's lunch every day. You have to wear your own clothes all of a sudden every day. So it truly is a different environment, and it can be challenging.
Well, it is, and actually the university does have a department of student services, and they do have programs to initiate, at least assist the students to make that transition. There's a matriculation exercise, which is a formal part of the orientation and introduction to the campus. But what we do as alumni is to participate in that. What Solomon might have been able to tell you is that when he leaves here, he has an appointment, having worked last night, at 10 o'clock. We have a meet and greet as an alumni association at the airport. Because imagine coming in from one of the islands you might have traveled or might not have traveled before outside of your country. It is comforting and it assists you in making that arrival in Barbados less problematic. So we have that meet and greet program on an annual basis, and I think students appreciate it. Not only do they see persons from the association, but I think there's also a welcome
mixture of
package
the-
that they
of
would
the
give them,
students that are
you
there.
know. So I think that is important. But on an ongoing basis, having arrived on campus, we are willing to develop a mentorship program, you know, where, for example, a student may have a particular interest in a discipline. And so to improve that possibility, if people are willing to sign up, then it makes it even better. You were asking about what happens when people join, and Solomon gave you that. But what we want to do is not to have people come to sit at meetings, but to come and network. And the Sip and Paint, for example, is an opportunity. I don't know if you've ever participated in one. I did recently. I had a goddaughter who had one, and I'd heard about this all the time, and I'm like, I am not an artist, but it is a fun exercise.
It really is.
Some people may do more sipping than painting, but I think, and that is an opportunity. This is our first, and as Solomon pointed out, there are 50 persons we're
50
catering.
spaces, yes.
Yeah, initially, and you know, for $80, remember, it's a fundraiser. That part of that, or most of that, will go to the funds, because of course we will have some in the same. We've had the support for the raffle. You'll have support in providing us wine and hors d'oeuvres, you know. So you're invited to join us.
Of course, I will come on through.
Yeah.
I might be one of those people doing more sipping and painting.
But
And then it's on the 14th.
It's the 14th of September. 14th of
So you
September.
got time, and bring a friend.
Unfortunately, I will be away at that time, but
Oh, dear.
I'll be there in spirit.
Yeah.
No, that leaves a space for you.
Yes. Now, I know that a lot of the times we focus heavily on new students coming in, but there are a lot of students who are already on campus, and sometimes circumstances change.
Yes.
Things that you don't even think about in terms of how they can impact those
Yes.
students. So these programs really go a long way to help all students.
That's correct.
Of
That's
the
correct.
university.
And in fact, a lot of the beneficiaries of our program would be continuing students. For example, the hardship program. As you pointed out, a student may come on campus and he or she may have a change in financial circumstances. And that has happened. And so, you know, there may be some requirement for some emergency support, not necessarily an ongoing scholarship, but you know, they may need some emergency support, and that has happened as well. So
All right. Now, wearing these hats, these other hats, you know, these proverbial hats, these hats you can't necessarily see this morning, but we know they're there. You know, talk to us a little bit about some advice that you would give to new students coming into the University of the West Indies, maybe parents as well, in terms of how they need to, you know, prepare, get ready, things that they need to be conscious of as they embark on this new school year.
Right. Well, what I would say is that they need to focus more on what they want to do, what they need to achieve from their studies. Spend a lot of time doing positive research and studies. I find too many students tend to wait till the last minute to want to do their revision and sort of thinking that, you know, it's going to be a walkthrough, but certainly university is not a walkthrough. It's completely different to your secondary school or your tertiary education. You have to be focused. You have to have the mind skill. You have to want to succeed in order to come out at the top. So I would say once you come to university, get serious. Be prepared that the work is going to be a lot of work, or should I say in Bajan terms, enough work. It's not going to be a flyby. So once you come with the right mindset, you will be successful. And like we said, these activities are going to be sporadic so that you can de-stress if you become stressful. And the reason for asking people to to register, as they are already alumni as past students, and to register is so that we can call on them to help some of the students in the event that need mentorship in certain areas of studies that the lecturer may not have the time to deal with all students. So this is where we, the alumni, play our part. We may have expertise in certain study areas, and we can mentor some of these students. And once you identify your study area, we would call on you and set up appointments for you for those students who may need your help. So it is important to give back to the University of West Indies. So that is it basically. Come focused and ready to study.
And from you?
As I listened to Solomon, I remembered my days as a graduate student in Ohio, in the Midwest. It was an interesting experience. But one of the programs that really worked for me was a host family program, where international students were invited to join a family who volunteered to host you. So on weekends they may take you places. And as he spoke, I thought of that as something we can introduce, because we have students from across the Caribbean, and in fact, in recent times there's been an invitation to students, for example, in our medical program from as far as Ghana and so on. So I think that it would give, and remember that we're the Barbados chapter, not the KFL chapter. It's a university-wide, so any graduate of UWI living in Barbados, for example, can participate. And where we have students, in the same way that we meet them when they arrive on the island, we can host them in a structured hosting family. And so there's significant opportunities as well.
All right, so I want to thank you both for coming in and sharing with us. Sorry that you missed your early morning sea bath. I'm sure you're going to make up for it. But we want to encourage you to make sure you look into joining the Alumni Association officially. Be a part of the 60 for 60 initiative. Look out for the correspondence going out. But if you haven't seen any, reach out to some people you might know. And you can reach back to the association as well. $60 for 60 years will make a big difference. And then, of course, there's the Sip and Paint that is coming up, and also the raffle that is ongoing. So make sure you contribute in any way that you can to the University of the West Indies Alumni Association Barbados chapter for these initiatives that will go to benefit the student scholarship, hardship, and emergency programs that are vital to our students in this current climate. Again, thank you both for coming in.
Thank you very much.
All right, it's time for a break. When we come back, an update of the news.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
My friend, you don't plan to get it? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bajan experience. My show is called Bajan to the Bone. Don't miss it, Bajan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
We enjoy a game with dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love cruise.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. It's a different feeling.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
It's 5 minutes after 7 o'clock. Time now for an update of the news. The National Cultural Foundation and Export Barbados have partnered to enhance the creative sector to allow entrepreneurs to expand their reach. Word of this from Minister in the Prime Minister's Office with responsibility for culture, Dr. Chantel Monroe-Knight. She was speaking during the closing ceremony of this year's Emancipation Village.
The National Culture Foundation with Export Barbados has embarked on an accelerator program intended to be able to promote, again, work like what we have heard, in order to expose entrepreneurs within the cultural sector to successful businesses that are in the States, in the UK, and to be able, again, to provide export markets.
Dr. Monroe-Knight says already 3 accelerator initiatives have been held, 2 in the USA and 1 right here in Barbados, with 90% of the business people receiving orders for exportation.
It is not that we are just talking about it, we're actually doing it. We're actually doing it. We've talked a lot about the work that we are doing with fashion and the Accra Fashion Week. But we haven't also talked about the fact that, again, the National Culture Foundation actually participate in an inter-Africa, intercontinental cultural program that, again, provided for exchanges and also opportunities, again, for the cultural sector to be able to, 1, engage in discussions that would eventually lead to the opening of markets.
There's a call this morning for a revamp of local credit card statements to allow people to use them effectively. Lead consultant at Prestige Accounting Inc., David Simpson, says in the U.S., monthly credit card statements give more detailed information. He notes this allows a customer to see if they only pay the minimum balance, how much more they will owe in the long term. Mr. Simpson was speaking while delivering remarks at the Barbados Council for the Disabled's annual general meeting.
Credit card statements in the US show you your balance. It shows you the minimum payment due. But it also shows you if you only pay the minimum payment, here is the total amount that your current balance will become in 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months. So on every statement you get, you are able to see in the US, if I only pay the minimum, my $1,000 balance will become $3,000 in 12 months, or however long it takes. That is notated on the statement.
Mr. Simpson is also urging Barbadians to be aware of credit ratings and credit bureaus. He says the day will come where accessing loans or items on hire purchase will be based on an individual credit score.
Once you have a bill, have had a bill, have a debt, or have had a debt, you are a subject point for the credit bureau. And there's no exception because you have a disability. So that's what I'm saying. You need to be aware. And it's called every data. They track. So if you have had a loan, have a loan. If you have a credit card, anything like that, those providers on a monthly basis, I think, must submit information to every data for your score to be created.
Owners of Public Transport, or AOPT, says it's ready to assist with transportation issues in St. Andrew. This follows issues raised by residents during the recent St. Andrew Speaks, where Prime Minister Mia Motley and Member of Parliament Dr. Ramel Springer were in attendance. Among the issues highlighted were long delays in the availability of buses for the parish. AOPT Chairman Roy Raphael says they're prepared to help to find a solution to any problems.
We're ready to provide transportation for the St. Andrew people who want the Transport Authority, the Transport Board, and the representative for St. Andrew, Dr. Ramel Springer. If they're all willing and prepared to sit with us, we can find a solution to the problem, and we would like to find a solution to all the problems because those, as I say, comes up at Paris Beach, and we have some routes that does not have Transport Board buses on it, but we are forced to come off the road after 6 o'clock.
Now, Mr. Raphael also says there are applications in the Transport Augmentation Program that are awaiting approval at this time. He believes it will take 50 more buses to provide a full fleet to be able to service the entire island.
There are a number of persons who want to enter the TAP program. There are 25 persons who are basically standing by. Some of these intended operators already purchased vehicles. But as we speak, the Transport Board and the Transport Authority have placed on hold permits for people entering the TAP. So we will see a Transport Board have basically about 50 TAP buses that service the country. And it would take additional 50 more basically to bring up to par as it relates to the TAP. We are willing basically to provide any type of assistance to the TAP program.
Guardsman Group Limited is launching or relaunching a youth leadership program for children. Managing Director of Guardsman Limited, Andrew McLean, says the program is a good opportunity for young people to develop soft skills, among other things. Mr. McLean was speaking during the company's back-to-school drive ceremony, where children about to enter secondary school whose parents work at Guardsman received back-to-school supplies.
Launching again our youth leadership program. And we're launching it not just for Guardsman, but to whomever will buy into it. Because why? At the end of the day, if our mindsets don't change from we are very young, we take these mindsets with us all the way through to adulthood. And it is very hard, after 7 years old, it is very hard to change personalities, emotions, behavior after 7. But if we can catch them as much before they get out there into the harsh working world where they're already rigid.
Now, Dave Martin, leader of the Trade Winds Bands from Guyana, passed away yesterday at the age of 90. As the driving force behind Trade Winds, Dave masterfully captured the essence of Caribbean identity, blending lively rhythms and sharp, insightful satire that resonated deeply with the region. His timeless hits, which include Civilization and Cricket in the Jungle, remain beloved across the Caribbean. Our thoughts are with his family and friends during this time. And of course, we look forward to sharing more about his life and times with you. May he rest in peace. Now for a bit of sports before we go. Defending champions Signia Globe Financial Barbados have 2 wins from 2 matches in the West Indies Rising Stars Men's Under-17 2-day championship being played in Trinidad. Despite losing first innings lead to the hosts on day 1, the young Barbadians pulled back on day 2 yesterday to win by 8 wickets. Resuming on 13 without loss in their second innings, TNT Under-17s were bowled out for 106. That left Barbados needing 131 for victory, and they reached 134 for 2, riding on an unbeaten 86 by Zachary Carter. So congratulations. And that's news at this time. Stay tuned to TV8 for Newsday at 12 noon, or tune into our radio network of stations for the CBC News World at 1. That's on 94.7 FM, 98.1 The One, and Q100.7 FM. Just 14 minutes after 7, Morning Barbados continues after this.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love cruise.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. It's a different feeling altogether.
I never feel so good in a party yet.
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
It's 7:16 all across Barbados and in different places in the world. Now we know that. Whatever you're doing this morning, I certainly hope that you're ready for the week ahead and you're getting ready for everything that is to come. In terms of the children heading back out, facing that traffic, we know that can be a challenge as well. And whatever comes your way today, just know that you can grab it by the horns and get going and do a good job and all of that good stuff. Yeah? All right, a little smile for you this morning. I have to say a special good morning to Cardell Ferguson. She's General Manager at the Barbados Youth Business Trust. And I was telling Cardell that we've not really sat down for a chat for quite some time. We used to do a lot of...
About 3 times a year?
Yeah, we used to do a lot of catching up. So now is our opportunity to you know, get everything in. Yes, that's right. You know, what's been going on with the Barbados Youth Business Trust? Let's start with letting people know, first of all, who might not know of the trust, the work that you do.
Right. So the BYBT, which is what we're calling ourselves these days, we went through a rebranding in September last year to focus really on how we can help those persons desirous of becoming entrepreneur rather than sticking to a specific age group. It's not that we're not going to support youth anymore, but we want to make sure that we are able to create that pipeline that will help our young persons to see entrepreneurship as a way into their life that they want to achieve. And we also want to help those persons who are transitioning from careers into entrepreneurship to get that kind of support as well.
Are you seeing a lot of that where people are transitioning, as you call it, from, you know, working for someone
into
or working in government into kind of doing their own thing on a full-time basis?
Yes, we are. And what I guess one of the catalysts was COVID, where a lot of persons would have lost their jobs. And a lot of people would have said, you know what, I've been working 50 years, 30 years for somebody else, and I haven't done anything to realize my own dreams and aspirations. So why don't I take that time to do that for myself as well?
And I know that you offer a lot of support.
Yes.
So it's not a matter of kind of heading out into those new uncharted waters on your own. Without the support, and that will make a big difference as well.
Correct. Because one of the things that you would have to realize about BYBT is that over the years, one of our trademark assistance is that of our nurturing support. We've held people's hands through entrepreneurship, getting you to understand, how do I build out the idea that I have into something viable? And what we've been moving towards is supporting people towards building sustainable businesses, not just start today and finish tomorrow.
I know you have an initiative coming up.
Yes.
Is it the Startup Huddle?
Yes.
Tell us more about it.
All right. So the Startup Huddle is an initiative that we are implementing from our one of our umbrella entities, Global Entrepreneurship Network. In this initiative, what we are doing is providing a supportive environment for entrepreneurship by giving the entrepreneurs who would be presenting an opportunity to express what challenges they are facing at this time. The audience and the experts in the room will then help them to field through that challenge and come up with a solution. So what we are trying to create is a tribe around the entrepreneur, recognizing that the support is there and whatever is needed to help them to transition through the challenge, they will have some ideas, and other persons who would have, other like-minded persons who would have been through similar challenges can feed into that, so the learning curve becomes shorter.
Wow, I absolutely love the name.
Yes.
Because if we think about huddling, it's kind of nestling together.
Brainstorming.
Brainstorming and getting ready for whatever you have coming up.
Correct.
So it really kind of encompasses everything that you would want as an entrepreneur to be able to get to move forward positively.
Correct. And a lot of the times what happens is that we believe that once we start an entrepreneurial venture, we're in this on our own. So you may be able to do a business for yourself, but you're never by yourself. You have to recognize that there are people within the ecosystem whose job is to ensure that you are successful. And that's what BYBT has taken on.
Let's talk now about the shape this initiative will take. It's coming up on the 28th of August.
Yes. So on the 28th of August is a virtual event. So through Zoom, we would allow the persons to come on. We have that conversation around how do we help each other? Where can we offer support? Because a lot of times we have a network that can help somebody that we don't think that is important. But the people who are around us are the people who becomes the market for other people. So we have 2 presenters who will come in and they will present to us their business, tell us a lot of what they're doing, how they are doing it, what are some of the challenges they're experiencing, how those challenges are manifesting in their business. And coming out of it, the moderator would then sift through what those challenges really mean and get the audience to start talking about how they've experienced it or what they're thinking of how they can help the persons to solve the problem.
Now, I know this isn't the first iteration of this particular presentation. So how has it changed over time in terms of what you found that you needed to empower potential entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs alike with for them to be able to be successful and for their businesses to be sustainable?
All right. So initially, we used to have this face-to-face, but we weren't getting the kind of buy-in, the kind of participation. So we moved it online. One, to increase the amount of input that we can have, because we also have persons joining us from Jamaica, from across the Caribbean, and they are also putting in their 2 cents on how the entrepreneur can help. What we've also recognized is that some of our entrepreneurs don't like talking about themselves and their businesses, and nobody would find out what you're doing if you don't let them know. So it was getting the entrepreneurs ready to pitch their businesses, because technically it's a small pitch, how to pitch their businesses to their audience to get them interested. So in our preparation for Startup Huddle, it requires us to walk the entrepreneur through talking about their business and getting them realizing that if you don't speak about your business or share your business, you cannot grow from where you are.
You're absolutely right. Some of the businesses and services, goods and services available are the best kept secrets there are, and you kind of happen upon them.
Correct.
You know, so it really it makes a difference for people to be able to kind of step out and share more about their businesses.
Correct.
And then, of course, having it online, then you have a bigger pool of people to be able to draw on as far as resources are concerned. All right, so we're going to take a little break here, and when we come back, we're going to delve a little deeper into the shape this presentation will take and let you know how you can be a part of it. That's all next as we continue our conversation with General Manager of the BYBT, Cardell Ferguson.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystons Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest...
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Back on this Monday morning. No rain today. We had some drizzles yesterday, but that's A-okay. I think we need them. I want to remind you, though, make sure that you are clearing outside your gutters and getting all of those buckets and different things outside turned down, because we've been seeing a lot of mosquitoes kind of sifting in. And then, of course, with the weather, it's very, very warm outside. The humidity as well, you know, is making conditions really, really great for the mosquitoes to just run roughshod across the island. We don't want to see, you know, any more of the mosquito-borne viruses going around than we have to. So make sure you look around and see what's happening, even if it's a little bottle. For people who have house plants and so on, you want to look at the leaves and the water and so on and make sure that you're taking care of that as well. So back to the topic on hand, we have Cardell Ferguson in with us. She's general manager of the BYBT, rebranded last year from the Barbados Youth Business Trust, to be a little more encompassing for those of us who are aging a little bit and would love to transition into entrepreneurship. They're certainly making it a whole lot easier for you to benefit from their services as well. And we were talking a little bit about something called a business huddle that is coming up. Along those lines, I love the title huddle. It's actually a startup huddle. So we talked about the shape being having it on Zoom so that you can reach out to more people and more input as well.
So the participants, we send out a call for participants to present, and the entrepreneurs would then send in their application form to become a presenter. So it doesn't matter how long you've been in business, what you're doing. What we want to do is to give you an opportunity to build your business stronger. And as our new tagline say, we are supporting you in building your business together. And so one of the things that we wanted to do is to give you an opportunity to speak, an opportunity to get the idea out there. And we recognize that in business, there isn't a lack of challenge in business. But if we all work together, those challenges become easier. And that's the whole idea behind the Startup Huddle. So we have the Startup Huddle every month, the last Wednesday of every month. So you have many opportunity as an entrepreneur to present your ideas and get that idea building.
How do we get involved? Are there any qualifications necessary? Are there any prerequisites? Is there registration?
There is a registration, so let's deal with that one. What we are looking for is persons who are in business, who have already started operating. So we're looking for persons who have been in existence, their businesses operating for 6 months or more, so that we can get a sense of what has been happening already in your business, because you need to have some basis through which you're going to say, I have a challenge, because a challenge needs to be something that is experienced. So we want them to come through, tell us what the business is. That's all part of the registration process. Tell us what the business is about. Tell us what you have experienced and how it is impacting on your business, so that we can then use that form to then determine who our presenters will be.
Absolutely.
And as for the public, what we want you to do is to come on, sign on, and be on hand to offer some suggestions for development. Just had a blank there. Some suggestions for improvement, to offer support in terms of where you've seen something working and how that can be useful for the person who is presenting, and also giving some mentoring ideas to the participants, because a lot of us need motivation and a lot of us need some positive words being spoken to us. And if that is what you are able to offer, we accept.
And I feel like we need to share more.
Yes.
Because, you know, it's a situation where it's BTDT, been there, done that. There are so many people who've experienced challenges in business, who've been able to overcome it. And it's really important for us to be able to kind of reach across and reach back and reach down and help people who want to get to maybe where you are. And it could help you as well in terms of being able to hear new ideas from other people.
And one of the things too that I want us to start to stop doing is making people feel that if they're not perfect at something, that they're a failure. And it's kind of debunking the whole idea that failure is not part of business. Because it is. Because the person who is strongest learns most from those things that they did not do perfectly.
All right, that's an interesting way to look at it. The person who's strongest learns most from those things
that they didn't do perfectly.
They didn't do perfectly. Very, very interesting. All right, so it's coming up every single month. You just need to make sure that you register so that you can capitalize on it. Are there any success stories through the years that you can share with us in terms of how the business huddle, this startup huddle, has been able to help businesses in a tangible kind of way?
Right. So one of our first presenter, she has an academy for young females who are interested in doing football. And one of her challenge was that she wasn't able to reach enough people to help her business to grow. So through the startup huddle, we were able to give her some suggestions as to how she can reach out through the PTA, how she can reach out through projects that are out there for females. And she was able to get some traction in terms of getting into the schools, making sure that she has people who are willing to be part of her academy, and also she was able to get projects that will fund the activities that she was doing. And I am so proud of her. One of the things is when I sat and listened to her talk about you listening to the passion and hear her talk about the football academy, I ended up signing up my daughter.
Wow.
And she is enjoying that football, I'm telling you. And then there are other people who have been, they want to build clientele. And one of the things that came out of it is that by exposing what they do, they were able to get clients from among the audience, and people were going out and talking about that business, and they were able to increase their client base because of it.
Yeah, I think this is some great encouragement, especially for people who you might be in a job, and pardon me for saying this, but it feels like a dead end.
Mm-hmm.
Feels like there's nowhere else for you to go. Or there might be something that you're passionate about that you've wanted to do for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And we know just a short while ago, we didn't used to encourage entrepreneurship in this way. People would say, get a good job and stay there for 400 years until they give you a Seiko watch.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've kind of moved past that as well. And even people who are in jobs are stepping out.
Yes.
And kind of testing the water of entrepreneurship with a view to going full hog.
Yeah.
Doing it fully. So initiatives like this startup huddle, I would imagine would make all the difference in terms of being able to move forward. Now, looking at the organization generally, the rebranded BYBT,
see our new logo?
The initiatives that you're continuing, the new ones that you're hoping to bring on stream, where do you hope to take the organization in the short to medium term?
So what we are hoping to do is to get people to realize that business means business, and that what we want to have people realize is that entrepreneurship is a viable career choice. It is not being done as a side hustle. It is not being done by those persons who cannot make it through academic. It is not being done as something to do on the side. It can be sustainable, it can be viable, and it is desirable because it allows people to build on their passions. And where there is passion, there is always life. So what we want to do is our programs, we are creating programs that helps to take people on a journey through entrepreneurship. So we start with the young persons in school age program, in our school age program. And in our school age program, what we are looking to do is to give you an opportunity to practice some of the skills, concepts, and ideas that come into play while you are as an entrepreneur. So we do that through simulated games, we do that through boot camps, we give you the opportunity to have friendly competition so that you recognize that in business there is competition, but it does not have to be cutthroat. Yeah. You understand? And then, so we move from our school age programs and we go into our incubator, our training programs. So our focus really over the last few years and into the next few years is that of sustainability. So we're looking at social enterprise, we're looking at waste management incubator, because we realize that entrepreneurship must contribute towards the social and economic development of the community. And that is being done through businesses that contribute towards the achievement of a social aim. So whether you are satisfying a need or you are alleviating a problem, it needs to benefit more than just the people who are involved.
Now, Carnell, we know that necessity is the mother of all invention. And you started to talk a little bit earlier about COVID and how COVID kind of forced people to
wake up.
Yep, and kind of do for themselves because all of a sudden a lot of people were out of work and they had to find things to do. Post-COVID, now we're a few years on, how many of those businesses, based on your observation, have kind of carried on and grown, and how many people have kind of reverted? Have we seen a surge following COVID in the amount of people who are going it alone, going out and being entrepreneurs?
We have seen a surge in people desiring to go it alone. However, one of the things that we recognize as well, and that's one of the reasons why we had to relook at our program, is that people, they're willing to they have the desire to do it, but because they don't have the support and the motivation from the persons around them, it sometimes falls flat. So what we are trying to do is provide that supportive network where they can get the necessary hands up to help them to continue along that path. And because we have been doing that, we see more and more persons are willing to stay the course and stick with what they have desired to do.
I know that you were part of a recent challenge where innovation really was at the center of it. How would you say Barbadians are faring generally in terms of innovating in new areas of business, particularly in an environment where it is driven heavily by big tech and all that's happening externally in relation to technological growth, IT, AI systems, etc.?
Right. So a lot of what we're seeing, especially, it was kind of fueled over the last few weeks with the last competition that I helped to judge, is that persons are using those big tech, the data and all of those things, and they're using all of that to grow cultural businesses that we have taken for granted over the years. So to strengthen those businesses that we hold dear to us through the use of technology and innovation and using the education that we pride ourselves of having, using all of that to build out those ideas.
All right. That's wonderful. It's been great catching up with you.
Yes, let's do it again soon.
Let's not make it another 5 years.
Please and thanks.
Before we see each other again. Remember, it's coming up on August 28th. It's called the BYBT Startup Huddle. It's going to be at 6 o'clock on Zoom. So, make the time, and it can make a difference in your life. Just get in there. I'm sure any questions at all you have,
Yes.
Mrs. Ferguson and her team are more than willing to assist.
I also wanted to say that Global Entrepreneurship Week is again coming up in November.
I still have my pin,
Yes. So it's again coming up in November, and this year what we're focusing on again is sustainability. So look out, follow us on our socials, and look out for information because it's going to be bigger.
All right, make sure you go follow BYBT. Shouldn't be difficult to find at Instagram or Facebook. And online, okay?
And LinkedIn as well.
LinkedIn as well. All right, it's time for another break on Morning Barbados. The time is quickly going by. I want to say a special good morning to those of you watching from across the world, like Jacqueline. Good morning to you. Thanks for tuning in every single day. Like little Mackenzie in Arkansas. Good to have you in company as well. And our team in New York, they're always locked on, a part of the WhatsApp group. They call themselves the MB WhatsApp group. So good morning to all of you as well. It's time for another break on Morning Barbados, but stay tuned because we still have lots more coming before we wrap today's show.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
My friend, you don't plan to get it? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bajan experience. My show is called Bajan to the Bone. Don't miss it, Bajan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love Cool.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. It's a different feeling altogether.
Follow me to Q in the community.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
All right, so welcome back to Morning Barbados. I have some fellas in here. I don't see any gloves, but who knows? The gloves might come off or they might be on. I don't know. There might be a back pockets or something. They're going to tell me, though. I have Darren Watson, who's a ring announcer, Ronald Zen Als, who's a coach, and you're also a boxer as well. And they've brought along Seth Lawrence, who's a boxer too. So good to have all of you with us this morning.
Yeah, man.
All right, if you recognize Darren, it's from calling in numbers.
Oh, the pressure, man.
Yeah, that's right. Of course, you get to see Darren calling the numbers for lottery. He showed up this morning. No tickets, fellas. Got tickets.
You should say what pressure?
No tickets. Yeah, but you're here to talk about boxing, and you mentioned there's a buzz about boxing again. So, set the table for us.
Well, I have tickets to that, the event coming out August 23rd.
I got tickets too. We can exchange,
Nah.
Oh,
But, I mean, but you know what? I don't want to rate it off. We'll talk after the show and see. Right? But August 23rd and 24th, there are two standout elements going on those days. Of course, the entertainment factor. You know, you can't come to a boxing event and not be entertained and not have fun, right? Really? We have our elite athlete, Charles Cox. Elite athletes are funded by the National Sports Council, Barbados Olympic Association, and we have not had a local matchup for Charles to show off in front of a Barbadian crowd in 2 years. And 2 years in boxing is a really long time. All right. We're also going to find out who is the best super heavyweight in Barbados. Is it Seth Lawrence? Is it Rico Hurley? This is the trilogy. They boxed each other before. It's a tie, and we're going to get the draw going on.
Yeah.
All right. And then the second element standing out is the historic value of what's going on. Right. We're going to honor Dr. Ronald Wilson, his contributions to boxing locally and regionally, and his history is pretty much the history of local boxing and regional boxing, the development. And then, of course, the return to Queen's Park Steel Shed. It's been a long time. You know, you go around Barbados and there are places that are synonymous to sports. You can say Bashal is for road tennis, right? If you want to say Belfield, of course we know Netball Stadium, but where's boxing? And that is where it was growing at one point, but then it just came to a standstill. So those who are in attendance on the 23rd and 24th, Friday and Saturday this week, they're going to be a part of a very monumental moment.
Okay, so you're looking to kind of bring it back.
Rekindle that relationship.
You know, get people back in line. Now, Ronald, Zen, Al, tell me a little bit about your journey with boxing.
Boxing for me was a life changer. It was the thing that gave me purpose. It was the place where I found peace in the midst of, I guess, my own chaotic world. And that has been so important for me that I felt like we can't really let it die. I was one of those Barbadian boxers who had a dream of becoming a world champion on the big stage. And that reality didn't look like it was one that we could actually reach and attain within Barbados. But now we're seeing a change, a real shift where it's now actually possible. And those guys like myself who used to be the boxers are now sitting in the chairs where we can make the difference so that the guys like Seth
can actually have that. Another rung.
That's right. That's right.
So
I actually believe them at that stage.
How did you get introduced to boxing though?
CBC had a program called Sports Locker. It used to show on Sundays, I think.
I remember you showing your age, fella.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we need more boxing on TV then.
Most definitely.
I agree.
I used to watch it, and one Sunday they showed the schoolboy boxing tournament. And I was an angry schoolboy who used to get in a lot of fights at school, but, you know, not really get a real place to do that. And when I saw it on TV, I felt like I could beat them boys.
The smile was saying it. You see the smile way he's saying it though? Like,
yeah. I felt like, you know, I really felt like they seen a boy there that could really beat me, so let me see what could happen. I made some calls and got into boxing, and it never stopped.
Haven't looked back. That's beautiful. And it feels really good because I was thinking just over the weekend that what CBC was to my generation is not anymore.
Yeah.
And that's something that we seriously have to look at. For my generation, we were able to see people who looked like us doing really positive things and so on. And now it's only available on social media. So, I mean, that's a conversation that we definitely can have in other quarters.
Before we hop over to Seth, right, I want to add to what Coach Alves was saying there just now. There's a real buzz in boxing going on. Yeah. We have more registered athletes now than we've had in the last 5 years. In fact, Jaquan Grant just represented Barbados in his schoolboys and schoolgirls championship in Guyana, coming back home with a gold.
Really?
And the man is now legit the regional 66 kilogram champion, right? Representing Barbados.
And he's
not 66 kilograms. Yeah. I'm kidding. As somebody who is a complete novice when it comes to boxing, I want to jump to this young man in the corner, who you know, quiet, but I can see that you're passionate about it too. I saw you nodding in agreement with everything that was being said. So talk to me about your foray into boxing. How were you introduced?
Me, background first thing. I was first time I came out of school, so to me, I turned a negative into a positive, right? But I already get into it because my friend posted up with her story that she was at a boxing gym. So I called her and I was like, I want to get into that idea. So she sent me all the information, and then I met Coach Lawrence, and from there it was just a hill. So it was a real good thing, man, to me. I enjoy sport, love it. No, he 24th again. Me and the man then record about to handle it and get things done. It'll be a good show for sure.
What's training like for you?
Training? Boy, if you don't answer it, boys, it's hard work, man. If you ain't dedicated, if you ain't got the right mindset, you wouldn't be able to get through my things. It'd be real hard work. So morning time training, evening time training, and I still got balance work too. So everything is just training.
Yeah, it's about time management.
Yeah.
And it's wonderful that you found something that intrigues you in this way.
Yeah. Touch me in
kind of piques your
special,
interest.
special to me, man. If I may place, I would say if I may place in boxing, because to me boxing is like hey, your iron kind of thing. You know what I mean? So if I may place, I feel this is where it's supposed to be.
All right, that's beautiful. Talk to me, Coach Zen, about the work you're doing with a lot of these young people. It's a full circle moment.
Yeah.
You, I would imagine, from a schoolboy,
For real.
seeing it and now working with others who would have been through the same thing.
And life took a whole different career path, and then I spin and came right back. But what we're trying to do right now is, again, I remember how much talent there was in Barbados while we were boxing, and I remember looking left and right of me in the gym and feeling like a lot of these guys are as good as the big names that we're watching on the big screen. They just don't have that exposure. They don't have those kinds of opportunities. So I've set my life now towards creating those opportunities for the younger boxers, to making guys' dreams come to a reality, which I guess in its own way allows me to still feel like I've been able to do something on the big stage in the sport. Yeah. So people like Seth, there are a lot of, and we can see when we look left and right in Barbados, we can see that there's a lot of anger, there's a lot of energy out there that people need to find a useful place to harness that energy and get it out. And I feel like boxing is one of those sports that once you get, as you kind of noticing it from Seth, once you get into the sport, it's difficult to not get obsessed with the sport, and it's not good. It's not possible to be good at the sport without dedicating a lot of time and energy into it. So it's character building. You're gonna. That's where I feel I learned real anger management and discipline. Discipline. I feel like my first time on Mornin Barbados was coming out of an anger management program, and I feel like boxing was the real place where the self-discipline and the anger management and the mutual respect for other people had to start to come in. So we're just doing that again for the younger boxers coming up. We're reigniting the sport in the Caribbean. We're changing the way that both Barbadians as well as persons in the region look at the sport, seeing ourselves as just as good as what we've been saying on the big stage.
Yeah, for sure. And the first step to it is rekindling that relationship with the Queen's Park Steel Shed. But when people think Queen's Park Steel Shed, we think art, we think theatre, and it shows the link between arts and sports. The link between arts, sports, and boxing. It shows that boxing has a place in our culture. And it helps us fight the narrative that's going on, that boxing is just violent and, it is not really a Barbadian sport. It really helps fight that narrative. So I'm really glad we're back at Queen's Park.
All right, so tell me what's coming. What's on the cards, literally and figuratively, and how we can come out and support.
Martinique, St. Lucia, Guyana. I know if it was in Martinique, if it was in Guyana, if it was in St. Lucia, all the locals can be out making the most noise. Seth can tell you about how the crowd response is when he traveled and he has to represent Barbados, how he has to fight the crowd. And we want that same atmosphere there in the Queen's Park Steel Shed, supporting our guys, supporting Charles Scott. He's going up against a Guyanese. He's one of our best boxers, so we want to make sure we got the crowd behind his back. And it's limited seating too. So Friday, Saturday, and we're looking at probably hosting about 250 people more max.
Right? In terms of the crowd space.
Yeah. So you don't want to miss out, man. It's, Instagram page, Barbados Boxing Association. You can go to Zen Life Gym at Big Youth. You can go to Shaka's School of Fitness, Shaka Henry. You can go to his gym to get tickets, or you can go to Fight and Fit in Surfside to get tickets.
All right, you were saying something just a moment ago.
I think I was hitting on that my last bout was actually at the Queen's Park Steel Shed.
Okay.
So this for me this will be my first time returning to the Steel Shed since then. And it's great to now be on the outside of the ropes, cornering my own boxers in there. Yeah. That's going to be amazing.
That's good stuff. So I look forward to seeing all of you again.
Yes,
You're
please.
competing in which category?
I'm competing super heavy. Believe, right? Super heavy.
Super heavy, yeah.
Super heavy
Barbados has 2 super heavyweights right now who are both in par with each other. One is a little bit older, Seth is the younger. We getting to the point now where before there was a little bit that separated them, so both guys could compete on the same team. Right. Now it's to the point where only one could really represent Barbados at that level.
We gotta find out who.
So in order to do that, we need to find out who's the big one. So Seth and Rico are gonna have it real big on Saturday night. Yeah, don't miss that one. That's a big one.
So where's the other guy, man? He backed out this morning?
He's at work right now.
Listen, that's an excuse, buddy. You should be here.
He can be there on Saturday. Be there at CN for sure.
That's a personal call out. Oh, Rico get that message. Somebody sent a message to Rico.
Yeah. So it's coming up this weekend, and I certainly look forward to all that it will offer. And it's wonderful to see that young people are getting involved with sports that touch them or resonate in this kind of way. Even through life. I mean, with you, you know, you said it helped you do an about turn. And same for you as well.
Yes, please.
All right, so this weekend, what else?
No, I just want to give thanks to a couple of people.
Absolutely.
I just want to thank the sponsors, my uncle, Ratis Lawrence and Jared Ward, and my boss, David Carter, sponsored me. When I go overseas, I think they sponsor me every time. Just want to give thanks to them, pay my father. So,
all right, good stuff.
Yeah.
Mom and Dad have names?
Yeah, Maria Lawrence and Seth Lawrence. Them is the key. I'm a little daughter. So all this really for she.
Yeah, that's beautiful stuff. Yeah. Congratulations. I look forward to what's coming up
I look forward from too.
On this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, you said?
Friday and Saturday.
Friday and Saturday?
Friday and Saturday.
All right, get through, Darren. All for you. Once you're announcing like that in the people's ring, I look forward to what will be happening. But it's good to have you on Morning Barbados. And speaking of full circle moments, I remember many years ago when I received a call about you wanted to get into this area of business. You're doing well.
Well, thank you much.
Congratulations.
Thank you much. It's really nice to be next to you on this stage.
Big shout out to Dale Ford. Yeah?
Yeah, Dale and the crew.
Dale back in the days. He used to host a program called Route 10. I think that was his first foray coming off of...
We need second season of that.
Hold on.
Second season.
Coming off of being an ambassador. Hello, I am Darren Watson.
I was really close. I was really close. I
remember those days, but... you know, the little salt and pepper now and thing. It's talking, you've grown through the years, it's doing well. And
flattery.
I see you calling the numbers and stuff. You're doing good.
You can only get one ticket, TC. You can only get one ticket.
I look forward to this weekend.
Sure,
and, you know, it warms my heart to see this. I have 8 nephews.
Yeah.
8 nephews.
Send them. Somebody there's a boxer.
I'm thinking there are a few of them.
Send them.
That could take some licks.
I could give them to you know. You be just good at giving them, you know. You're true.
Right. Absolutely. But thank you guys for coming in and sharing. And don't be strangers, you know. Make sure you come back and let me know how things are doing. Yeah. And who knows, we might be able to house a little training workshop or something here in Morning Barbados.
Can I make a quick
absolutely call out
remark? There's a thing that I want to say is that the countries that are coming to Barbados right now, St. Lucia, Guyana, Martinique, those are all countries right now who have big contingents. Barbados is definitely being respected. We always have the smallest teams, but we're being respected now on our Caribbean circuit. As when you see Barbados, know that you gotta fight for it. So I all good with that.
It real.
All right, good stuff. I'm told we're taking a break, so time for a break. Thanks so much to the fellas. Come out this weekend to the Steel Shed and represent. When we come back, we wrap up today's presentation. Stay.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love crew.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. You know, it's a different feeling altogether.
I never feel so good in a party yet.
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday.
So good in a party yet. You know why?
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country?
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
For today's presentation, we certainly hope you enjoyed all that we had to offer today, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Ambassador David Comishong, he's going to be in tomorrow as we continue our conversations on CARICOM. We're going to review the 47th regular meeting of the Conference of Heads of Government, CARICOM, which was held in Grenada from the 28th to the 30th of July. Also, the full Barbados Triathlon team, they're going to be here as we celebrate them for doing the triple. So look forward to them as well coming out. Plus the finalists of the inaugural 2024 Mr. Executive Interschool Business and Gentleman's Challenge. Pediatrician Dr. Birchwood is going to be here as we look at feeding and nutrition. That's it from us. Have a great day today. Wishing you a wonderful week as well. Make sure you come on back tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning.